I see when you Google the vagina ones, there's lots of cake.
Wow. It's not at all, it just looks like it's an artistic thing, but it's apparently supposed to be a vagina. Golden ball, excellent.
Well, they look like real vaginas. It is not the main thing.
Yeah, I read a ton one popping the cherry.
Oh, I do like your mixing of the pubes.
You can make pairs of your beauties.
I think that looks amazing.
Oh, lovely. Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah, they're lovely.
Absolutely amazing.
They're all beauties.
Getting the invitation to work with the Welcome Collection was a real fantastic opportunity for us in the Women's Library to really look at the richness of our own collection and in this terrain of sex, sexuality, sexology, and to really pull out some of the gems in our amazing collection. Our collection really focuses on feminism and on women and equalities issues in a particular type of ways. And they really sort of contrast with the Welcome Collection's historic materials. So what we're really keen to do was to sort of get women from all different backgrounds into the library, exploring the collections, looking at an exhibition, a little capsule exhibition that we've put together to connect with the wider sexology season. And in it we were looking at things like women in the domestic space and the way that sex plays out in that area. What happens when women really start exploring their own pleasures and sex and sexuality? And really the way that feminism and the equalities campaigns have impacted on the way that women actually think about their own bodies. So what happens when lesbians get behind the camera and start making images themselves for their own pleasure? What happens when women start saying no to the traditional roles they've had as homemakers? And we really thought that we'd take the opportunity to get a whole raft of new staff team members, sessional workers and so on involved in the programme to bring their own expertise, to really think about more imaginative ways we could explore this whole area of sex. So our collections have really been explored for this season. In the comedy and drama workshops, we were really excited to see how very subtle and interesting ways of talking about sex could be dramatised in what ended up being quite satirical and really hard-hitting ways, thinking about women and the illusions of sex, sexuality and the body. So I think it's something really interesting to see people who've never done this before come up with the material that they have done in those workshop settings.
My sister used to say how like Pamela Anderson, when that was it, she went and got her eyebrows tattooed and her eyeliner tattooed and her lip liner tattooed, and now I was like, why did you get that done? She's like, because I just want to wake up looking lovely in the morning. Yeah. It's like, why don't you just get an eyeliner pencil and a lip liner pencil?
Because I'm quite into plastic surgery. I think it's quite a good idea because I think it makes people more body confident. And I don't know, do you feel kind of similarly?
Well, I think people just need to be the best them that they can be. Yeah. So, I mean, you were a wreck.
Yeah, I was an absolute, I couldn't.
Because people wouldn't talk to you. You didn't have a boyfriend,
No,
didn't have friends really. And just by changing you to this, beautiful, beautiful person.
I got magazines, and I just started to chop up body parts of different women and then place them together, and I made like a collage. I went for Jennifer Aniston's hairline. I don't know if you noticed that. I mean, my hair is
It's
my
a
own.
popular one right
Yeah,
now.
and I went for the larger forehead, really, because I thought it would make me look more natural.
And intelligent.
Yeah, like I've
So
got a bigger brain.
So if I could pull the hair back, well, remove the hair really and pull the hairline back, and you'd be perceived as clever, and then you'd feel clever, you know, and then you would be clever.
What else have you had done? Why did you feel the urge to travel downwards with your body when was your face that repulsed you?
I guess for me, it repulsed me, but then when so you done my face first of all, and then I became aware that you know, everything downward was also as hideous, and you'll vouch for that. It was
Yeah,
quite
nobody deserves that. You know, if they've been led to believe you're one thing,
Yeah,
you know, they can see what's there and what they're expecting to get, and they have expectations.
Yeah.
So,
But nobody will look unique in themselves. They start to lose the expression because they've had so much done. They just start to look like a doll.
I mean, I can't smile or cry or sneeze anymore. But I think that's kind of like a small price to pay.
Do you also do the genitals now that women are so unhappy?
Yeah,
you know,
with
we've
how they
done
look?
research and we've looked at certain, you know, sort of real kind of, I guess it's down to things like golden ratio and the way that, you know, what would a man, you know, we've asked many men what their opinion of what's, you know, what they would like. Basically something that looked incredibly, you know, neat and tidy and kind of easy to look at and
And it's sort of inoffensive.
Yeah,
as well,
inoffensive,
Like, inoffensive to sort of
Yeah.
get involved with. And,
yeah.
You know, sort of get into it.
It must be a shock. Now when you look at somebody, you get false boobs, false bum, you've had your vagina now altered
Yeah.
to look now fantastic for somebody else. It might look good when they're about maybe 30, 40, but you'll end up looking like Sylvester
think-
Stallone's mother, Jack.
I think that
It's important to the, you know, to these ladies that they look the best, and it's their priorities, you know, that they.
It's probably a bit money for you.
It's more than that. It's a mission, you know. I feel
A mission to
I-
have Stepford wives.
to help, you know, women. You know, I was desperately unhappy until I met my surgeon.
Young women feel the pressure now that they have to get these things done. It's more a visual society rather than
It's a deep
about the person.
need in all of us to be accepted, or a deep set thing, and that's the group that they want to be accepted into, and therefore I'm just helping them be accepted into that group, which will lead to a better lifestyle and more, you know, yeah, it leads to happiness.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd smile if I could, but you know, it's become more difficult.
I'm going to do some more work, and you will smile again.
Yeah, and I mean, some people say I have dead eyes, but there's things we can do for that too.
You're not dead. I know you're not dead. I've
Yeah,
felt the pulse.
yeah. I think the motto that you have to remember as a woman is that, you know, plastic is fantastic, and that's really the end goal, I guess, is to get to that point. You know, we all play with Barbies, and
It's a deep childhood, or you know, little girls.
you know, we know it
Before they've read the magazines or seen the films that you're talking about, they all want to be Barbie.
One of the really important areas for us was to have this discussion group that was made up of a whole range of wonderful women who would come to the Women's Library to talk about sex.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming. It's brilliant to have you here, and thank you to those of you who've come back. Tonight is our sexology discussion groups, and it's within the wider sexology season, which is all supported by the Welcome collection, and it's linking in with work happening in London and Manchester. Here at the Women's Library, we've had an amazing programme. We've had comedy and drama groups, we've got these discussion groups, there's been an exhibition, films and a book group special and all sorts of things all around sexology. Here in this discussion group, we are working within the model of consciousness raising groups, which was a radical feminist model of working together and meeting together that was developed in the second wave of feminism. So the idea is that women come together in groups that are safe spaces for women to talk about the things that they want to talk about and share their truths and explore their feelings about things. So we're thinking about that, we're using that model in terms of sex and sexuality for women in Scotland in 2015.
I remember my mum giving me a copy of Linda Lovelace's autobiography to read. It turned out that later on that it was a publicity thing, and she also at one point gave me a copy of Playgirl magazine that had an interview with John Travolta in it. And I remember being far more shocked by the fact that he said fuck all the way through the interview than I was by the pictures or any of the other stuff in it.
Disappointing, no one has said like, I have sex 3 times a day and it's fucking fantastic, or it's great, or my partners are all really wonderful and my mother was a font of knowledge and really supportive, you know? So it's a wee bit like, am I still fucked up, but not fucked up in the right way?
I could look at a picture of myself when I was 18 and think, oh God, you know, you really look gorgeous, you've got such lovely long legs. But I remember being 18 and looking at myself in the mirror and thinking how hideous I looked and how ugly my legs were. So now I don't know what to think, because I feel like at any age, any time I look in the mirror, there always will be this negative thought. And my body has changed a lot since I was 18, and looking back, I think it was perfect.
Are making society a better, more visually, acceptable place. And everyone's, once everyone is able to achieve this perfection, we'll all be equal.